Nice Speech Lady. Useful resources for medical SLPs. Created by one who is just like you out in the field. Creative, practical, evidence-based resources. Building up, learning from one another.
Hello, welcome back to the Nice Speech Lady Show. My name is Wilson Nice. I'm a medical speech pathologist and owner of Nice Speech Lady. Please check out the website nicespeechlady.com. It's a resource website for medical SLPs. There's a lot of information there. There are links to a lot of other helpful resources, and then there are original resources created by myself to help the medical SLP, a lot of shortcuts. There's some assessment tools, there are a lot of handouts, there are a lot of home programs, session materials, etc., etc. So please check out the website. I want to start the show off today by sharing with you a quote from Judy Blume. Our fingerprints don't fade from the lives we touch. Just something to think about today. I know each of you that are watching this show touch lives in one way or another, and I want to welcome you to the show today and just think about how you're impacting someone's life today, and just remind yourself that your fingerprints don't fade. Let's jump on over to Nice Speech Lady. I wanted to share my screen and we will hop on over. So go to nicespeechlady.com. Here we are. And let's jump on over to the most recent set of posts that I've had in the homepage slider. So let's go to, I recently had a post where I listed garnishing ideas for modified food consistencies. So if you go to that resource, you'll find, based on IDSI guidelines and the National Dysphagia Diet Guidelines, they're organized in both ways. First, there's the IDSI terms from level 4 to level 5, level 6. They're just examples of different types of garnishing ideas to help make it more visually appealing for patients if they're on modified diets. And then the next page is organized according to National Dysphagia Diet level 1, level 2, level 3s. And then I have other terms for facilities that aren't using either of those terms. They're just using 3 levels, puree, mechanical soft, and then regular. So I thought that I would list those out here. So please check out that resource. Another resource that I have available right now, other than that one, another recent resource that I had posted is a patient questionnaire for new evaluations. This is something that can be used for a telehealth evaluation, or it can be used in outpatient, or it can be used in a skilled nursing facility setting. And it's just, it has a lot of places for family members or patients to provide background for the evaluation, identifying information to general health information. And then here we have the languages that the patient speaks, the reason for the referral, the biggest concern in these areas, details on the history of speech therapy services, testing results or data that's available on perhaps instrumentals or previous testing that was standardized. And then there's a section here on, it's just a binary yes, no, if there are concerns in any of these areas, articulation, voice, swallowing, et cetera, et cetera. And then if so, the details on those concerns. And then there's a section for other, something that doesn't fall in any of the areas listed. And then there's also a section for the greatest health challenges and strengths, if there's a desire for a home program, if there is family support, and then preferences on a home program. This would be a place for a patient perhaps to indicate if they would want it to be on video or a certain type of format. Areas of interest for the patient, possible barriers to progress, solutions to any barriers to progress, and then related questions that they might have that they would bring to the evaluation. So this is another tool that is available right now at Nice Speech Lady. And then I thought I would just show one more resource that I recently published on the site. And that is a a rating interest form for the purpose of cognitive therapy. How many times have we had patients on cognitive therapy and we're wanting to do something very functional? We're wanting to do something related to the patient's daily life. Here is a resource where you can have, you can narrow down the areas of the patient's, in the patient's life that might be specific to them. So you can have them indicate if they have any interest or need in any of these areas, if it's no interest, a slight interest, a moderate interest, or a high interest. Everything from managing bills to shopping to planning a vacation. And then there's a section for notes next to it. So there are 2 pages here of functional activities. Some of them are leisure tasks. Some of them are more independent activities of daily living. So, and then there's a section, of course, for other, for anything that doesn't fall in the areas listed. So please check out those resources on the site. And of course, these are all in PDFs, and they're also listed in the libraries also here under according to area of involvement in the area of speech pathology. So please check that out. And today we have Chase Prieve, founder of Hi There. He has 7 years of telecommunications industry sales solutions, cloud experience, and mobile app work. We also have John Prieve, director of operations with Hi There. He has over 30 years of biopharmaceutical industry sales leadership experience with both established and startup companies, and has launched new medicine work in his history. Welcome, both of you.
Hey, thank you so much for having us today. Really excited to be here with you.
Thanks so much for taking the time. So just start out and share with everyone, your journey regarding Hi There, and your unique perspective that you all have as a family.
You bet. Wilson, thank you very much for having us on today. We really appreciate it. My grandparents, Chase's great-grandparents,
great-grandparents,
Anna and Walter Prieve. They were both deaf, and they attended the Wisconsin School for the Deaf. Myself, last year, I had a cholesteatoma surgery in my middle ear surgery, and as a result, I have a severe hearing loss myself, and I do wear hearing aids. In 2019, the journey of Hi There Solutions started. Chase met a new friend, and she was deaf. She was also the first recipient of cochlear implants west of the Mississippi River. Well, she was highly audible because of a tremendous, extensive work with speech-language pathology. However, she didn't use a telephone because she was deaf. And she was a lip reader. Well, Wilson, as you know, lip readers only pick up about 30% of the spoken word on the lips. The other 70%, they're trying to fill in with facial expressions, gestures, etc. So she loved FaceTime because it enabled her to read lips and try and fill in the conversation. She also loved text messaging. One night, back in 2019, she and Chase were on a FaceTime call, and it was a horrible connection. The screen was freezing. She was unable to read lips. It was completely frustrating, so they ended the call. Chase turns to his mom, Tracy, and me, and he asks a question out loud. Why in the world doesn't FaceTime have real-time captions? And with that statement, that question, if you will, Hi There Solutions was born, the idea. So, Wilson, you asked, tell us a little bit about the journey. We've been on a journey for the last 2.5 years, Chase and I, as a startup company, and we've been doing the usual things that a startup company does. We have been doing extensive research on the life journey of the deaf and hard of hearing. We have been doing pre-market customer segmentation, putting together our marketing plans and promotional plans. We have been building out databases of customer contacts, referral source contacts, et cetera, building our social media presence, if you will, with all our sites. So it's been super exciting. And we are pleased to announce that our first app, the Hi There Solutions app, is going to be launching in about a week in both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. So we're very, very excited about that.
That's exciting.
Thank you.
This has been something that you've worked on for it's been a project as a family, and you're ready to launch it. Can you tell me about the technology itself? What's unusual about this technology, and why do people need to know about it? What makes it unusual and beneficial to the population?
Absolutely. Thanks for the question. It's a very disruptive, innovative application. And again, unlike FaceTime, which is only proprietary to iOS devices, where you can only FaceTime an iOS device to an iOS device, we're agnostic. So we are launching with two products: Hi There, which is real-time video chat with closed captioning, instant messaging, American sticky emojis, which is really cool. And the other product we're launching within that same ecosystem is called Just Talk, which is a real-time speech-to-text, text-to-speech, American Sign Language sticker emojis, animated chat board, essentially. One of our influencers, Amber Galloway, said, "Oh my gosh, with Just Talk," she's deaf, really influential in the signing community. She said, "Oh my gosh, I can finally use a drive-through now. It's perfect for noisy places like a restaurant, quiet places like a doctor's office." And we have two companies that we're working with. First one being Kiwi Tech. They're our lead investor. They've designed the user experience, and our back-end API software techie company is Mission Cloud. They're a premier Amazon Web Services partner. They've been great to work with. We're super excited. We're wrapping up our beta testing, and we should be live in both Apple App and Google Play stores starting February 1. Anything you wanted to add, Dad?
Wilson, this is just terrific technology that we've been able to develop and bring to the market. And again, I'd just like to underscore, whereas FaceTime is proprietary just to Apple devices, here's the thing: in the global market, if you will, of smartphones, it's about equally split between Apple and Android devices. And if you think about deaf and hard of hearing families, they're equally blended between Apple or Android devices. And the common complaint that we heard in our market research is just that the deaf and hard of hearing rarely use video chat products. One of the main reasons is because it doesn't have real-time captions, but also because certain family members, if somebody may have an Apple phone and another may have an Android phone, and they can't use FaceTime with each other. So as Chase mentioned, we're agnostic. Our app can connect those two different types of devices together.
And what also makes us different than what's available right now is with a solution like, well, I won't name their name. There's a current solution out there, and it is speech to text, but you have to pay an extraordinary amount just for accuracy. You pay a certain pricing tier for 80% accuracy, 90%, 95%. We think that's nonsense, and we think it should just work and be accurate from day one. So that's another reason why we're disruptive and innovative. Further, we're trying to create a communication hub. So not only do we have Hi There and Just Talk, we have future innovations where we're going to put within this communication hub of our mobile app, Hi There Solutions. So we're pretty disruptive, different. You don't have to go download a bunch of different apps. You just download Hi There and you get a whole ecosystem to communicate with your orbit of family and friends.
Well, I think it's great that it connects all types of systems, because then it's a neutral system that connects, right? You don't have to worry about what kind of phone do you have, what kind of device do you have, and I mean, that sounds like it's a bridge that allows systems to talk to each other.
Right.
That's really important. What other features do they have other than that? What else can you share?
Sure thing. So thank you for the question. We're not just specific to video communication. We also have future innovations in telehealth. We have future innovations in translate. So taking American Sign Language, thank you, I love you, converting that into real-time captions, speech, text, other languages. We have Pronounce It to help individuals who might have a heavy deaf accent better pronounce certain words. We have educational tools, like I mentioned, and then we have things in music like Sing It, and then we are also thinking of certain games like Play It. We're just trying to build a communication hub for this awesome community that's unfortunately underserved by current communication technology. Anything you want to add?
No, it's a terrific answer.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So to access the app, you just starting February 1st, people just go to the store, buy the app, and that's it?
Yes. And what's great is we have a feature where individuals can invite their family, friends directly from the app to download it, which is pretty cool because it helps, spread the word about Hi There, and it encourages their family and friends to download it so they can better communicate with a deaf or hard of hearing person. Dan, I think you had something.
Yeah. Hey, Wilson. So again, in our market research, we know that for the deaf community, for example, about 90% of deaf individuals are actually born to hearing parents and have hearing families. So you've got these blended families, right, of deaf and hearing, or severely hard of hearing, and then hearing. And we know that the way that we're bringing this product to market, that in our market research, that specifically the deaf and hard of hearing, they loved Hi There, our video chat product. They love Just Talk, our text chat board product, to help them communication in either noisy or quiet places. But we also know that their families, they don't need Just Talk. They would love to have Hi There, though, to be able to have those video chat calls with each other. So we know that for every one deaf and hard of hearing individual, around them is an orbit, we call it, or a family and friends orbit of about 10 individuals. So the way we've designed our subscription plans is to have two different ones. One is basic. It's designed really for the friends and family of the deaf or hard of hearing individual. So it's just going to have Hi There, video chat solution. The premium plan will be specifically for those deaf and hard of hearing individuals that want both Hi There and Just Talk. And we've developed a subscription model in order to offer video chat minutes and messages for both of those two products. And then we have a top-up feature where folks can add minutes, video minutes and messages to their plan as well.
And you can also upgrade from the basic plan to the premium plan within a video call. Again, we're all about inclusivity and communication. So we don't want, if you're in the middle of a video call, we don't want you to get cut off, right? So we built the technology in such a way that if you're in a video call, you ran out of minutes, we don't cut you off. And your minutes roll over every month.
Okay. So you mentioned that people who have tried it out love it. What are some of the specific things you've heard? Like what is the best review that you've gotten, or what are some of the things you've heard?
So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Staff Sergeant Shiloh Harris. He is a pretty profound influencer in the deaf hard of hearing community. He's got an incredible story. We have his book he wrote behind my dad's head, and his business card. We met with him. There it is. Steel Will. Buy it. And it was one of our first beta testers outside my dad and my mom, myself. And first time he downloaded Hi There, and he had a Hi There video call with real-time captioning on the bottom. He was like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this for years. We met a gentleman yesterday. He's a 3-time deaf Olympian and in the marathon. And he said, my gosh, your future innovations, I wish I had this as a kid. I struggled so much in school, and this is amazing. Then we have probably 100 pages of positive testimonials from LinkedIn, just people reaching out to us and saying, how can I help? Can I come work for you? How do I make this happen? What can I do? What would you like to add?
Yeah, no, Wilson, between Chase and I and our LinkedIn accounts, for example, I talked about building our social media sites and accounts. we've got LinkedIn accounts, but for the two of us, so we have over 7,000 connections that are made up primarily of audiologists, hearing instrument specialists, speech language pathologists, deaf school teachers, deaf school administrators, state and local deaf organizations, et cetera. And we've messaged over the last year or two and received thousands and thousands of messages back as people understand our two products, Hi There and Just Talk. Their messages, like Chase said, are basically, oh my gosh, this is going to change people's lives. I have patients or students that could really benefit from this technology. Can I be a beta tester? Can I come to work for Hi There Solutions? Yeah. So do you have any jobs over there? So it's been really, really just terrific to receive that positive feedback that we know we're going in the right direction. Our mission and our why is to be able to help an underserved community with the innovations that we're developing.
I'm sorry, that just brings tears to my eyes, because that's just so meaningful, you know, to be able to, for you to be such a part of making that happen for people. You know, that's just so special. You know, that's just so important. And that's just really amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see, you know, what's going to happen in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, as people's worlds start to open up, as their communication does. So that's really exciting. I know that a lot of people are hearing about your technology, your app, Hi There, Just Talk, and you've received some awards. Can you talk about those awards?
Yeah. You bet. I got to refer to my notes here. Oh, so in a couple of things. One's an award, but another one is just a really great story. In September, we're friends with MFA Rudkin. MFA is deaf. She's two-time Miss San Antonio, runner-up Miss Texas. Emmy Award winner. Yeah. I mean, she's just awesome. Yeah. And she runs a foundation. She's the executive director of a foundation called Aid the Silent, where basically she helps provide hearing aid resources for underprivileged or economically disadvantaged children in and around Texas. Awesome. And we became friends with her about 1.5 years ago and met her, and she invited us to her gala. She puts on a gala every year to help raise money for her nonprofit, for her foundation. So we went. And at the beginning, her opening kickoff remarks, she had to stand up and introduced us to the entire, there was probably 600 people there. Yeah. And she's telling about our technology and what we're bringing, the solutions. And, you know, it was just terrific. Well, the rest of the evening, we had dozens and dozens of people that came up to us and just wanted to know more about the solutions, the technology, because these are folks that really care about the deaf and hard of hearing community. Chase ran out of business cards.
You're the tech guys.
he ran out of business cards.
It was awesome.
Night. So, but
very humbling.
What was very cool, she had some of her deaf young life ministry participants were there, and she at the beginning of this event, as we walked in, she goes, "Hey, John, go and show some of my deaf young life kids over there, teenagers, show them the screenshots of your technology of like a Hi There call." I go, all right. So I took my smartphone over, I'm leaning over my shoulder like this, showing, you know, this row of teenage boys and girls are screenshots of what a Hi There call looked like. And MFA and Chase are over watching all this. And these kids behind my back are doing this. This is sign language for very cool. Wilson, it was awesome. MFA turns to Chase and she goes, "Chase, I wish I had a video of your dad showing these my deaf young lifers here, because it would just be awesome if you could show a video of that." So that's not an award or anything. I'll talk about that in a second, but that was just something that all night long, all we got was the cool sign for this tech, and it was so neat.
And that's how we met Justin Osmond. He is the nephew of Donnie and Marie Osmond. He's got a great foundation. And that's how we also met Staff Sergeant Shiloh Harris, both terrific guys. They came up to us and said, hey, we've talked before. Had to play it cool. We actually have never talked before is what I'm thinking in my head. But yeah, hey, good to see you in person finally. Like, and they were like, hey, let's get a picture together. I want to introduce you to my team. It was terrific. And then after that, we won this pretty cool award.
Yeah.
I'll have you explain it if you need.
Yeah, no. So Wilson, last summer, there's an organization called Healthy Hearing and Technology Matters. So it's a global organization made up primarily of audiologists and hearing instrument specialists. And every year, Healthy Hearing and Technology Matters, that organization puts on a competition. And they get 5 or 6 different categories. I didn't think too much of it. This is probably in July. We had just started development of our app, but I applied. I go, well, why not? So I put our tech in there, Hi There and Just Talk, put in some wireframes that we had, descriptions. And I didn't think much of it. In the middle of October, an email shows up. Congratulations. Hi There Solutions. You have won in the category Assistive Technology, Captioning, Mobile Apps. You guys are the award winner in that category.
Number 1.
We're like, what? We didn't even know anything about this.
We didn't even promote it.
We didn't even vote for ourselves or anything. You know, like in high school, you vote for yourself or student council or something, right? We didn't even do that. We didn't promote it at all. There were 22,000 votes cast around the world in these different categories. It's also a fundraiser for Hearing Loss Association of America, very, very worthwhile organization. But we were just honored. The award is called an INNOVATOR Award. So we're just humbled, we're honored, but we're very proud at the same time because now in some of our marketing materials, we can say we are an award-winning technology. So it's very cool.
We beat out established companies such as CapTel. And we were just an idea at the time, but people had such a great belief in us, audiologists, hearing instrument specialists, all that they were like, hi there all the way. And what else is also cool, as a result of that, we've got a upcoming TV interview with Deaf Welcome TV out of Chicago. And CNBC actually reached out to me on my personal LinkedIn, and we have a 6-minute on-air segment coming up in April, which we're super stoked, super cool. Love it.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Let me ask a question, and this isn't something I planned on asking, but I'm going to shoot away.
Let's do it.
So, you know, a lot of people listening to this show are speech pathologists. So speech pathologists hearing about this app, hearing about the technology, you know, can take this information to patients who are hard of hearing, who are deaf. What are the top 5 things that they need to share in terms of content about the apps, about the app, to say, this is why you need to check it out, patient or family member, this is why you need to check this out. These are the things, you know, what are the top 5 things?
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Let me throw a couple in. So in our market research, we surveyed hundreds of deaf individuals and then family members as well. We learned a couple of key things. Number 1, we learned that the deaf and hard of hearing rarely use video chat apps, FaceTime, WhatsApp, et cetera, because they lack real-time captioning, some other features, speech-to-text messaging, animated American Sign Language, sticker emojis, cool things that we're putting in. That was number 1. But number 2, they said, because we asked them, well, if there were these things in a video chat product, would you use it more? And they all came back resoundingly, like 85% in our survey respondents. Oh my gosh, yes, we would. I talk all the time, video calls on a mobile phone. You know, you have different technologies that like we're participating on today. You've got to send a calendar invite here and a calendar invite there, log in, you got to put a password in, et cetera. Our tech is any device, Apple or Android, anytime, anywhere, Wi-Fi or cellular. We have tried, as Chase mentioned, inclusivity, accessibility for this deaf and hard of hearing and their family and friends, so they never miss a word.
Yeah.
That's our whole mission as a company. And that's what I think would be a big takeaway for your audience is that this type of technology doesn't currently exist. This is disruptive. This is innovative. We're building a communication hub, like Chase mentioned, specifically for this community, where they can, at some point in their day, pull out that smartphone and be able to better communicate with the hearing world around them.
I'd agree with my dad there. We're disruptive. We got a bunch of future innovations, again, all within that communication hub for this underserved community. There are standalone products out there, standalone apps out there today. I won't mention them, competition, but we, on the other hand, are all comprehensive and inclusive, to my dad's point.
Okay. All right. And what about applications that, you know, other applications of the app that are in addition to what the app was originally designed for? Mm-hmm. What else have you found through the beta testing?
Absolutely. So we found Hi There works really dang well. Just Talk works really dang well. And we're more than just, you know, a software company. We've got a upcoming product solution called My Ears. We know that the deaf and hard of hearing, they suffer from hearing fatigue. At the end of the day, they'll take out their cochlear implants, hearing instruments, and what have you. We have a certain solution that listens to frequencies around the home, in public, and notifies a deaf and hard of hearing person who may or may not have their instruments in that, hey, there's a dog barking or my child is crying. So we have that. We have other future innovations. Would you like to add anything? I'll toss it to you. Yeah.
So Wilson, the way that Chase thought of the Hi There Solutions app was not to just be a one-off standalone product. We'll make video calls. No, right. We're looking to, it's scalable. So like Chase mentioned, we're coming out with 2 products in the app right off the bat. Yes, there's a video chat product, a video call. There's Just Talk. And then it's scalable. We want to put in an educational app or function, if you will, called Pronounce It. It's in the education realm. We want to put in music, and we want to put in games. We want to be able to translate sign language from signing to text, signing to speech, and vice versa. Vice versa means we create an avatar, and someone can speak or type, and then an avatar would actually sign that to an individual on the other end of that call, on a video call, for example. So there's just some very, very cool technology and solutions that are out there with Amazon Web Services, our partner, that we think we can bring in and incorporate into one platform, the Hi There Solutions app, scale it out. So again, our main community, the deaf and hard of hearing, are able to not live in the app, but be able to pull out whatever function or platform or component they need at that given time in their day and help them with communication and understanding and accessibility for that given moment with the hearing world around them.
So these other options are coming down the pike. When are those things going to occur, you think?
Probably over the next year, 20 months, something like that. You know, our educational component will probably be coming out at the end of the year. What do you say as far as the timeline?
So we see some real nice an innovation like Pronounce It, for example. Specifically, Pronounce It. The thought behind this, as we've talked to speech language pathologists or audiologists, hearing instrument specialists, et cetera, we know from that research and those discussions that sometimes the deaf or hard of hearing, depending upon their accent, maybe like a deaf accent, have a hard time pronouncing certain words. The word lasagna. Instead of a soft G, it may be pronounced with a hard G, lasagna. Right. Or the state of Michigan, it may be pronounced Michigan, with a harder C and CH in there. So we know there's an opportunity of probably the top 100 to 200 words, which are commonly in this community where they need help with the pronunciation from an educational standpoint. So the idea for this solution is to kind of create a dictionary, if you will, and then have several things happen to the word. spell it out, phonetically have the bouncing ball follow the syllables, if you will, have it said through Siri or Alexa, or even signed. We could sign it for that matter with an avatar, for example. So that's one solution, just called Pronounce It. We think we'll get to that by the end of 2022. And then a couple other solutions are more licensing products for school systems and for corporations, actually, to help them with their inclusivity and accessibility for their deaf and hard of hearing customers or patrons.
Right.
This is what I'm excited about, because my husband's in college, and this is what I think this is what you were talking about before, where if someone misses a class, they could have it, they could get a transcript of their class.
Yes.
Yes. Can you talk more about that? I was telling my husband about this, who is hard of hearing, and he got really excited about this feature.
That's awesome.
Hey, so Wilson, thank you for asking. We are actually right now going through a grant application under the Small Business Innovation and Research organization, which falls under the Department of Education. We have a solution that we call Right Here. So right, and then here, catchy name. So, so Right Here, the concept there is specifically in the education vertical. So it is a one-way teacher to student, speech to text solution. So the premise is, and this could work either in classroom or remote, especially valuable during COVID times where many deaf and hard of hearing are at home, and they don't have the same services what they could get in a classroom from certain school systems. So the premise is this. So let's assume a student, a deaf or hard of hearing, is mainstreamed in school, and there's about 300,000 around the country, K through 12. The teacher would wear a Bluetooth microphone. Our app would be paired up to that microphone. The student would have their own tablet or issued by the school or a laptop. The teacher would basically lecture, right? Give your lesson. And the microphone would pick up the speech, translate it in real time. It would come to the tablet or the laptop in real time, so that it would just scroll along. The student can follow along. At the end of the lecture, the student can do several things. Save it as a PDF file to their local tablet, device, laptop, save it to the cloud, our cloud server, or email it to themselves or their family for future retrieval. And then, as Chase liked to say, what he wants to see in this solution is being able to edit it, put in notes, highlighter, etc. And I'm like, that's just a terrific idea. So the Department of Education, we're going to apply for a grant under this SBIR initiative where we would develop, if we're given a grant from them, it would be awesome. If not, we're going to do it on our own. But where we develop the product initially, we have a beta test site we've already identified who's agreed to come in. It's the Albuquerque Sign Language Academy and down in Albuquerque. They're awesome over there.
Yeah, they are.
And then we would also do some outcomes testing as well for the Right Here product. And I tell you what, we have high hopes for that particular product Right Here. And we feel it would just be terrific because we know there are big differences sometimes between deaf and hard of hearing and their hearing counterparts relative to educational outcomes, social, emotional, and we think we can help with that in the education space.
Well, and I think there's something that can be said to seeing notes that are planned for a class versus what a teacher actually delivers during a live class.
Yes.
Because my husband receives the notes before a college class, but to have it live written out would really make a difference. And so when I told him about that technology, he got really excited. So we're really looking forward to getting our hands on that. So
awesome.
So that's exciting. Anything else coming down the pike? I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot for you guys.
We got a lot coming down, that's for sure. We're just super excited to launch and get our name out there and just help improve the lives of this underserved community.
And Wilson, we when we kind of sum things up and where the company is going, Hi There Solutions, we look at certain market segments. They call them verticals in the business world. So we know education is a real nice vertical for us to come up with solutions for the deaf and hard of hearing. But telehealth is another area that we have, in our research, have found to be a real nice vertical for us, where we could bring some solutions into telehealth. We also know that there's an opportunity for some corporate licensing for like a Just Talk product, or like I mentioned right here. And then finally, I know Chase kind of touched on it, but home safety.
Right.
Home safety, and we got this idea about a wearable that could be real terrific, and we call it My Ears. And it's just a terrific idea. We're beginning to do some work on that, but that may be a couple years off, but we think is a real important vertical as well, home safety.
Agreed. And as we mentioned at the beginning, we're launching in 10 languages from day one. We have plans because we know there's over 400 million deaf and diagnosable hard of hearing individuals globally. So we aren't just going to be segmented to one language from day one. We're a global brand from day one, and we plan to expand out to other languages, other sign languages, and just make the world more accessible.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to see what I can do about getting this interview closed captioned. I'm not sure how I can do that, but I'm going to look into it because I need to be inclusive. I need to be doing my part too. And
yeah, you do.
I tell you what, you're opening my mind here. And we all need to be more effective in this area. We all need to be thinking about these things. And I just really appreciate what you're doing so much. And I know that a lot of people are really going to benefit. And if there's anything that I can do to help, I want to. So please let me know how I can help. And just so the listeners out there know, you're at hitheresolutions.com. And then we have you at Instagram and a Facebook link. And I'll put that all in the notes section of this link. Any final thoughts that you have that you'd like to leave with our viewers?
If you go first.
Wilson, can't thank you enough. Really appreciate it. This time with you today to talk a little bit more with you, and of course your audience as well, about Hi There Solutions and some of these great ideas that Chase has that we're trying to just develop and bring to the market for the deaf and hard of hearing community. And here's our tagline: so they never miss a word. So thanks for letting us talk a little bit with you today about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much again, Wilson. One thing I'd like to close on is one of my favorite quotes from Helen Keller. Blindness separates people from things. Deafness separates people from people. And that's what we're striving to do, is more inclusivity, more communication, better communication, and just help this awesome community just build the world around them and never miss a word, to my dad's point. But yes, thank you again so much for your time today. It's been a great interview. We're super excited about our launch February 1st in the Apple app and Google Play stores.
So excited, February 1st, and keep us posted on how it goes and how we can continue to let everyone know how it's going with your company and new things that come out down the pike, and how we can just let everyone know about your updates.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Wilson. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Thank you. And there you have it. That was the interview. Thank you so much to the Prieves for joining us today. So excited to hear about the app. By the time that this interview is going to be published on the YouTube channel, it is past the 1st of February. So you can go to the Apple Store, you can go to the Google Play Store and find Hi There, and you can purchase the app with the Just Talk feature, and you can have that available to you. Tell your hard of hearing and deaf patients, friends, and family members about this technology, and let them know what's available now. So please go to and find out. Also wanted to let you know that I had previously published a Q&A about Hi There with Nice Speech Lady. So please check that out on the website Nice Speech Lady. Also subscribe to Nice Speech Lady on the website so that you can find out when I publish new blog posts, news articles, resources on Nice Speech Lady. So please subscribe there. Also, please subscribe to this channel so that you can find out when I produce new interviews and shows. It's not all the time that I produce them, so please subscribe so that you know when a new one is published. Please also go to the Facebook page, Nice Speech, The Nice Speech Lady. And also there's a Facebook group specifically for speech pathologists called SLP Support and Nice Speech Lady. Please join that group. Invite yourself to join that group and answer the questions so that you can also be notified when new posts are created on the website. Thanks so much for joining us today. Also, just to remind you, our fingerprints don't fade from the lives we touch. Just remember that as you go out and see patients this week and this month. And I just want to let you know I'm proud of you and thank you for everything that you do. And if you don't have anyone today or this week tell you that they're proud of you, I want you to know that I'm proud of you, and what you do does make a difference. And it may not feel like it sometimes, and it may be a hard road going uphill. And at the same time, you are making a difference, and thank you for what you do. Hang in there, keep taking it one day at a time, and please reach out if there's anything that we can do at Nice Speech Lady. And thanks again for joining us. Thanks to the Prieves for joining us today and letting us know about the technology. And thanks so much for joining us, and everyone have a great week and a fantastic month.